Hello, if you're new here, my name is Glance Beyond the Stars, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm new here too. Hopefully, this mic works. I don't know if it works because this earphone is like a year old, almost 2 years old, so I don't know. I gotta get some new earphones.
Liu Kang wins.
In today's video, what I really wanted to talk about was Mortal Kombat. And I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I've been into it since like maybe 2015, but what really intrigues me about Mortal Kombat is story, and that's why I've gotten into it. With their last game in 2023, it was um, pretty bad, and I wanted to discuss their story and kind of maybe rant about some things that they may have gotten wrong over the years that I've noticed and that I've wrote about personally and researched on, and definitely um, just document this because I've wanted to talk about it publicly for so long because it's been in my head. I was like, I'm definitely gonna do a video on it. In 2023, NetherRealm Studios and Warner Brothers Studios released their game called Mortal Kombat 1, which is supposed to be a reboot, I guess, of um, their other Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat has been out, for anyone that doesn't know, it's been out for I think since like the early 1990s, and it's a really popular gruesome game. I've never been into the game for the gruesome, for the like the nasty um, graphics. I've always been into the game for the storylines because I think they're really awesome, captivating, and I really liked who wrote them. I think the people that were involved back in the day were not back in the day, but in since 2015 when they did their first, like I guess, actual reboot, which was with Mortal Kombat 9. It's actually called Mortal Kombat, but it was called Mortal Kombat 9 in like the fandom community, so I just call it Mortal Kombat 9. That game, I really enjoyed the storyline. I thought it was very interesting. I used to watch it in my computer lab when I was in college. I never played that game ever. I've never played Mortal Kombat X. I've never played any of the early games. I do have copies of Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat um, 2023 um, because I do think they're fun. Like, I do think they're really fun games, and I do appreciate the graphics. I don't like the violence part, but like I said, I do play for the storyline. That's what kept me as a consumer of those games. I also really enjoyed the new characters that they put in. I liked how between Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X, they introduced some new things. And going back to the credits of who wrote those games, um, I have noticed that they have been there have been a decrease in the number of people that have been working on the storyline and writing it. I'll just go through the storyline for you guys briefly. So in 2000, I think 2011, the storyline briefly was, look, there was these people, and Raiden was the god of the Earth realm, and he was in charge of making sure a bunch of events happened, and they did not happen, and everyone was killed at the end except and made revenants except um, Sonya, Johnny Cage, and somebody else. I think Kenshi or something like that. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube. You can go and rewatch the story. And then Mortal Kombat X happens, and there's new characters introduced, which is like kind of the new generation. Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade have a daughter named Cassie. Jax has a daughter named what was her name? Jackie. Yeah. And then Kenshi has a son named Takeda. I love him. He's really awesome. And then Kung Jin has a cousin named he's I really didn't like him, but I forgot his name. I can't remember his name, but I'll put it on the screen. Mortal Kombat X was a really nice storyline because you also have a lot of redemption arcs. Um, Scorpion and Sub Zero mend their lifelong battle between the two clans. They hated each other and they become sort of allies in the game. And they both go after Quan Chi. They find out that Quan Chi was actually the one who was after killing um, Scorpion's wife and child and his clan. At the end of Mortal Kombat X, Cassie beats Shinnok, who is revived by Devora, this really weird bug lady. And, um, a lot of people had a problem with that because they're like, how can this new kid beat, this old, like, very hard, evil guy? And I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I get it. They wanted to make it known that the new kids were up. And now that I'm thinking about it, they kind of did not really run well with that. Well, actually, no, because I have to explain um, the next game. Next game, really great storyline. I actually have that game on my Switch, and I'm actively, I think, playing it right now because Carrie Figueroa, I forgot, I'm sorry, his last name, but I know he just recently passed away, and I really enjoyed his character in the game. So let me get to that storyline. With Mortal Kombat 11, you have so at the end of Mortal Kombat X, there was a bunch of revenants. There's like some evil revenants that still existed in Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat 9, and they are still existing in Mortal Kombat 11, and they're joining sides with who was it they were joining sides with? I think it was her name is it's a bald lady in the new in Mortal Kombat 11. She's like bald and she looks really weird, and she's a Titan and she's trying to recreate the entire timelines. And this is where the storyline starts getting convoluted with too much stuff. I'll admit that. Too much going on at once. What they end up doing is Liu Kang and Katana are together and they're evil now. And then what ends up happening is there are um, like two different timelines going on. So there's like the past like heroes like Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal Kombat, um, the 2011 version. So they all, I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. They all come back in this game and they're like looking at themselves in a way. Like they're evil versions and the normal versions, but I know it's called Mortal Kombat 11, and then I think the other one, I forgot what it's called, but I'll put it up there. And you find out in that one that Shang Tsung has come back, and Shang Tsung, Nightwolf, and it was somebody else are back. Oh, Fujin, yes, Fujin, which is Raiden's brother, comes back, and they have been watching everything that's happened since um, Mortal Kombat, I think X, the end of Mortal Kombat X. So you find out Shang Tsung is deceiving and lying and scamming as usual, and he is attempting to take the crown from like take the bald lady's powers, which he successfully has done, up to that point. And you can choose a side between Shang Tsung or Liu Kang. That's very important to note because if you choose Liu Kang, what happens is Liu Kang becomes the Titan, and then the results of Mortal Kombat 1 happen, which is the 2023 game. Not only does Liu Kang exist still, but also if you kill Shang Tsung, He also has a possibility of existing because you can also pick Shang Tsung and you can kill Liu Kang. They originally, I guess, wanted something to do with at the end of Liu Kang's story, like at the end after he beats Shang Tsung. They originally, I guess, wanted something to do with Kung Jin. Um, I'm sorry. Kung Jin is the name of the cousin. Kung Lao is the name of um, the original character with the hat, the weird like knife hat. Sorry. This game, Mortal Kombat 11, was interesting to me because you had some really nice graphics. You had a really solid storyline. I stayed up midnight to finish that game. I don't even know how to play the game. I just wanted to get into the story. And I was so excited. That's what made me so excited to save my money to buy Mortal Kombat 1, which I did. I bought it while it was on sale. I don't regret buying the game because I did like the storyline. I do like the storyline, the first part. I don't like the second part. So now we're going to get into Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 starts with Shane. Okay, bear with me. There's all the original characters that's still in the other storylines. Sub Zero, Scorpion, Smoke is back, which is great because Smoke was dead in the last storyline, so I was glad he was back. Anchi is back. I didn't like that he was back.
Brother, ugh.
All of them are back. There's some new people that was not introduced in the 2011 storyline that are now in the 2023 game storyline, like Havoc. Um, who else? Havoc. There's Havoc. Okay, have I don't know all of them. Havoc. Oh, the vampire girl, the Bat girl. I forgot her name, and Serena. Yeah, but they all are kind of different. They're not the same, I guess, or they're kind of watered down in a way. Bihan is Sub Zero, original Bihan, and then there was his brother Kuai Liang. But what they decided to do in this game, which I did not like, I do not like at all, was they totally erased Kuai Liang as Sub Zero and they made him Scorpion, which does not make sense to me. The point of Sub Zero and Scorpion, Bihan and Kuai Liang, is they had a nice little relationship at the end of Mortal Kombat 11. They were friends. So I'm not sure why they would, you know, change that and turn them into brothers. And they were better in relationship as friends than they are in brothers. Now, like Bihan, his character is still the same, but I don't know. He's missing some sort of nuance, and this is the problem where I have with the writing. When you're writing a character, you have to create some kind of nuance, and I'm not a pro at this. Like I'm currently writing a novel and editing it and things like that, and I'm not going to crap on the writer. I don't know how to pronounce his name right, so I'm not going to try to. I just want to put it on the screen right here. But what I do know is you do have to, if you want to have a good story, you do have to have some humanizing going on with your character. And with Bihan, as attractive as he is very um, like one sided and boring. Um, he's all about power, and the original Bihan was strong and kind of mean and rude, but he also had a sense of humanity to him. He cared about his brother, Kuai Liang. He loved his brother, he loved his clan, and in his game Sub Zero Mythologies, you can see that. He was kind of nuanced, he was very nuanced. And so with Kuai Liang, you have I don't know what the heck is going. He's a very boring character. I wrote a whole thing about him in my on my like privately, and he's so boring to me. Just not interesting at all. And so um, a lot with this one game, 2023, is it it leads you up to things and then it falls flat. And so first storyline, first with the original game was great, but then you get the DLC, which was just awful. It was awful. You have these promising things, nothing is tied up, and I guess they had plans to um, make another DLC, but it just wasn't something that was interesting at all. It was very boring. They turned Sector and um, Cyrax into women, and I don't have an issue with that, but it kind of does injustice to the past characters because Cyrax in the last game asked Sub Zero to please not make him a robot anymore. And then he gets turned into a woman by Liu Kang. So it makes me question: is Liu Kang a horrible master at everything, or is or is there an issue with the writing? And it sounds like we can say it's both. And then not only that, if you guys want to look at the storyline in full, you can. It's on YouTube. I would prefer you do that than waste your money. The name of the DLC was called Chaos or something like that. It was something with chaos, and it was with a K, Chaos Reigns, and it was really stupid. It was very boring. I remember I bought it. I pre-ordered it. Worst mistake. Pre-ordered it. It was $80. Pre-ordered it. Worst mistake of my life. Would never do that again. If another when another Mortal Kombat games comes out, I'm going to be watching it on YouTube. And I played it all the way through, waiting for resolutions between Kuai Liang and Noob Saibot and Liu Kang, between Cyrax and Kuai Liang. Why is Kuai Liang marrying Harumi, which is supposed to be Scorpion um, Hanzo's wife? What's going on? Nothing. I just got nothing. Did a great job on the first storyline. I can tell that they definitely planned it out. It's very good. I would definitely play it again. Playable. Definitely worth looking at again. I still do go back to some parts time after time. Very good. They had time with that one, you can tell. But with the second one, Chaos Reigns, sorry, I'm checking my. They had no time, and it was pretty bad. It was just not worth it. So, what I want to discuss next is what went wrong and some thoughts on what I think went wrong. I took the liberty of looking up the writers from Mortal Kombat 2011 to Mortal Kombat 1 in 2003. 2023, sorry. And I found, if you see me looking down, it's because I have my laptop, that the writers for Mortal Kombat 2011 was John Vogel, Brian Chard, and Dominic Cianciolo. Writers for Mortal Kombat X were Brian Chard, Dominic Cianciolo, John Greenberg, and John Vogel. And then we have for Mortal Kombat 11, we have Dominic Cianciolo and Sean Kettleston. And for Mortal Kombat, we just have one person, Dominic Cianciolo. Now, in Mr. Dominic's defense, he is a very talented and award-winning storyteller slash writer. He has been involved in cinematography for a long time, since 2007, and basically I'm pretty sure he's been involved in things since way before that, because he has something chronicled in March 2003. So he has a big career, and clearly he knows what he's doing. Now, I don't think that he should have been doing all of this by himself, because in the past games he's had some help. He's had 3 other people, 2 other people, and you can see how it's dwindled in between 2019, which was Mortal Kombat 11's release, and 2023, which was Mortal Kombat 1's release. there was so many things that went on in between those years that definitely impacted the processes. But when it comes to storytelling, there is a universal truth that I think that everyone understands, and they're able to identify when a story sucks. And universally, from what I've seen, people have acknowledged the first story in Mortal Kombat 1, the original storyline with the base game. It's great. It's okay. It's good. It's engaging. It's fun. It makes sense. It it makes sense somewhat. Okay. Second game, um, second the DLC, which was Chaos Reigns. Um, bad, bad, and it's not just because you know things happened in there that I didn't like. I don't like those things. I don't like Havoc. I don't like um, the convoluted timelines where everybody is everyone at once and not at all. It's so weird. There's so many different Tanyas and Havocs and Sub Zeros and Scorpions, and it's so stupid and it's almost lazy because if you are gonna sit here and say, and I remember Mr. Cianciolo said in one of his tweets, he was saying like because there's like dialogue before each fight, and they just say some stupid stuff, everybody, and he said the dialogue may be true or it may not be true. That, what does that mean? It may be true or it may not be true. So if it is true, and it points to all of them kind of being true, then what's true? Like, if all of it's true, then how do we know what's canon? He was saying, like, all of it's canon. How, if all of it's canon, then what are we going to do with all that information? Like, if all of that's canon, and then every single timeline in this game is canon, and then all these different things are canon, everything is canon, then what is not canon? How can we identify what is not canon? That's like someone coming up to me and telling me the sky is blue, but also the ground is blue, and you're blue, and I'm blue. What's not blue? What's not blue? Clearly, there's an issue, and I feel like there was some laziness, definitely. And I don't know what kind of stress they all may be under. I did read a while ago that there was some things going on in NetherRealm Studios that some interns leaked, and I can put that story right here for you to see it, like a little snapshot of it. But oh my gosh, are we serious? Like, do we really? Is it hard to maybe simplify a story? But I also feel like they have the money to hire people that can fact check and can simplify their stories for them and make them a lot more palatable and manageable for people. I also think that because of the demands that a lot of people who play the game, they a lot of people are a lot more into entertainment than they should be, in my opinion. Like, there's people asking for a live action of Moana, or maybe that's just Disney, I don't know. We don't need that. Please look to your left, look to your right. Who asked for that? Like, who's asking for these movies? I think that also it comes into play the demand that they might be having. NetherRealm has released a Mortal Kombat game every year since 2011. In 2011, 2015, in 2019, and in 2023. So even despite the pandemonium, there was still a game that came out 4 years, 2023. And I can't imagine the amount of pressure they have to be under to release a game and just have it finished in 4 years. Like, games supposed to take a long time to build, and definitely they are slacking on that storyline side and maybe upping the quality, which they have on the graphic side. Now, I'm not mad at them because everyone looks very great in the game, very pretty. I hope I made sense in this video. I'm going to make sure I include as many pictures as possible, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you next week. Toodles.